This is an all L. This is the L. L. This is the L. L. This is a
So standard 2-car garage doors are 192 inches. And when you take the original and Generation 2, which are both 4.9 feet, and multiply that by 3, you get approximately 177 inches, which fits great. However, when you take the Pros and their wider 5.41 feet and multiply that by 3, you get 195 inches, which is going to be longer than your garage door. In today's video, I'll go over the simple mod that you can do that'll allow you to fit 3 kits for the full effect. Plus, you'll see how easy it then becomes to move these to different parts of your house once the holidays are over, in case you don't want them on your garage door year-round. Now, I'll first start out by saying that if you wanted to install these somewhere in your house and you had no intention of ever moving them, just use the track system that this comes with. But like I just mentioned, when you use these, not even take into consideration the wire that hangs out on either side and the small gap that you would need between each, from end to end this is 65 inches and too long to fit 3 on your garage door. However, if you do like the idea of easily moving these around to different areas of your house, or you want the full coverage on your garage, you'll want to first buy some 2-meter long diffuser channels from a company called Musada. These are their U108 profiles, and I'll make sure to leave a link to them in the description. Now, this is going to be the same process as last year's model because the little connectors are too small for the channel. So I'll be using some locking pliers to crimp the channels in to make them smaller like I'm doing now. And you want to make it so you really have to give them a good push to get them in. Now, this is the most important part of the video if you want to install 3 of these on your garage door. What you need to do is space these closer together in the profile, meaning the wire cannot be fully stretched out. You should have a little crimp in each section, and it doesn't have to be much, but when you do this for the full length, you're going to save the necessary inches to make it fit. Next, I went ahead and did this 3 different times for the full length, and if you made the channel small enough, your hands will definitely be sore after doing this multiple times. Now, once you get to the end, just use a pair of tin snips to cut off any extra aluminum. And I'm using an old profile that was already cut previously, but if you have the full 2 meters, you will be removing a bigger section than what I have here. So just by doing this quick and easy step, I'm able to get the size down to 60 inches, and when you multiply that by 3, you get 180, which will be perfect. To get these mounted, use some large 3M command strips, and this will be my 3rd year in a row using this product, and they work incredibly well without doing any damage to your garage doors. Moving outside, the first thing you need to do is wipe down the surface where you'll be sticking these. This gets rid of the dust and will allow for the 3M pads to get a strong bond. Now, the architecture of your garage might be different, but my recommendation is to install them as close to the top as possible while still allowing clearance for when the doors open. This will let us place that white box at the beginning and end of the curtains inside the garage door, making for a much cleaner install on the outside. Next, I had to attach the other 2 kits the exact same way. Now, one thing to remember is that when you're going from the 1st to 2nd and 2nd to 3rd channels, you want to make sure the spacing right here and here is consistent with the gap between the regular strings, because we want this to look like one big canvas, and hopefully you won't even be able to see where one kit ends and the other begins. After everything's set up, go ahead and open the garage door to start working on the inside. So again, because I installed them near the top, this is where I'm able to bring the white boxes inside and out of sight. And there's many different ways you could go about this, but I'll be using some cable clips to secure the wires, making sure to wipe down the surface before sticking. And these Pro kits have this first white box at the beginning where the power gets plugged into, and then the white cord that I'm tidying up here acts as the power injection cable that goes towards the white box at the end of the curtain. And overall, this is a pretty easy process, and I was able to quickly do the same thing for the other 2 kits. Now, if you have a garage door opener, then you'll have power somewhere, and I'm using the outlet on my ceiling with an extension cable to plug in all 3 power supplies, and then I'll be zip tying them around the framework. Next, I'll be plugging in each of the 3 lights, and thankfully they give you plenty of slack to make the distance. And I would also recommend getting little ceiling hooks to help with the slack when the doors open. But when the door is closed, this is where you can make more accurate adjustments to the cords. So on the outside, you have about as clean of an install as you could possibly get, with full, complete coverage for your entire garage door. And as you can see, everything still works perfectly going up, and when you come back down, the curtains remain in the exact same spot with no tangles or snags. Now, the other reason why this aluminum profile install mod is the best option is because once the holidays are over, if you want to take them down to store for next year or install them somewhere else, just pull them off and you're all set. And if I now wanted to put them in my house or maybe a kid's bedroom, I would attach a new 3M strip, and it's literally that easy. Then outside you can remove the leftover 3M pads, and that, my friends, is what we call a clean uninstall. So these new curtain lights are a huge improvement over previous generations, and because of the higher pixel density, they're 100% worth the upgrade if you like this type of lighting. Now, if you're looking for other products to complete your holiday lighting, I have their Outdoor Permanent Lights Pro model, which I was fortunate enough to have the creator of PermTrack come to my house to help with the install. I'll leave a link to his product in the description, so make sure to take a look at that if you're like me and don't like seeing ugly exposed wires. And here you can see how amazing it turned out and how it's pretty much invisible during the day, which is exactly what I wanted. And finally, I also have Govee's new up-down wall lights. These are actually one of the best products they've ever come out with and currently have a 4.9 rating on Amazon. So that about does it for this one, but please let me know if you think a quick video going over the best Curtain Lights Pro features would be helpful, and I can try to put something together. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I hope you have a blessed day.